What Mercedes Benz can teach you about selling cars. Okay, here I'm looking at an ad that was written by a copywriter from Mercedes Benz. Let's hear what this copywriter had to say on this ad. Men talk about women, sports and cars. Women talk about men inside sports cars. So here this copywriter is arousing emotions, because us as human beings, we are governed, we take decisions based on emotions over logic. So emotions overrule us. You see, to give you an example, nobody wants to be pregnant, especially women. Women don't want to be pregnant as teenagers, but they do. Nobody wants to get an STI, a sexual transmitted infection. Nobody wants to get, but most people do. Why? It's because when they are in the bedroom, the thing that is governing them is no longer now logic, it's emotions. Then they involve them in sexual intercourse without using a sexual protection like a condom. So when emotions are involved, logic shuts down. For example, when you are angry, you often make mistakes that can even lead you to jail, you see. So us as human beings, emotions, they govern us more than logic. So here Mercedes Benz is using that weakness of a human being, that what governs them more, what makes them make decisions, it's emotions over logic, you see. So that's why the copywriter here decided to touch the emotional part over the logic part. The logic part for buying car can be, a car can help you to move from point A to point B very fast, but they didn't want to touch that aspect, because they understand that us as human beings, we don't buy based on logic, we buy based on emotion. So use women. Every man, straight men, want validation from women. So how do we buy that validation? By driving convertible cars, by driving fancy cars, you see. Then people discuss us, then people validate us, then people recognize us, then people acknowledge us. So when you're selling something, try to insert emotion to that particular thing. For example, you see this pen. This pen is a $1 pen. You see, when I sell you on logic, let's say I want to sell you this pen for 1 million. If I take the logic route that this pen has an ink that lasts longer, this pen is strong, it's durable, it's gonna be very tough for me to convince you to buy this pen at $1 million. But if I come to you and say, this is the pen that Steve Jobs used when he wrote the business plan for Apple, of which Apple became one of the biggest companies in the world. Would you like to own a piece of Steve Jobs' history in your pocket? You see, if I come to you and say, this pen was used by Albert Einstein when he wrote the theory of relativity, of which won him a Nobel Prize. Would you like to own a piece of Albert Einstein's history in your pocket? Of course. You see, now I am inserting emotions into this pen. So what happens to the price? It shoots up, because I'm associating this pen to Albert Einstein. People don't love Albert Einstein, they adore him. They see Albert Einstein as an inspiration. They see Steve Jobs as an inspiration. You see, most of the entrepreneurs, they are not buying Apple just because they are buying Apple. What they are buying, in fact, they are buying a story, behind Apple. Apple has got an inspirational story. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, started from rags to riches. You see, there was a time he had no food, there was a time he had no dorm room, and he was a college dropout, but he managed to build one of the biggest companies in the world. So that story is inspirational. So when an entrepreneur buys an Apple product, they are buying an inspiration. Whenever they are feeling like giving, they look at their iMac, they look at their iPhone, that no, they can turn things around just because Steve Jobs started from nothing to something, you see. So you want to insert stories, around your product. Facts tell, stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell. So you want to engulf, you want to surround, you want to wrap your offers with emotions. Why? It's because us as human beings, we are governed by emotions over logic. When emotions are involved, logic shuts down. That's why when somebody is too happy, is too excited, they over promise. You see why? It's because emotions are governing them. They are making unrealistic claims. I hope you learned a lot from this video. By the way, I work as a business opportunity copywriter. So if you are looking for that kind of a copywriter, don't hesitate to send me an email at sbo@sbotango.com. You heard it right, sbo@sbotango.com. Hope you learned a lot. If you did, please ensure you press the subscription button as well as the notification bell. Why? So that I can keep uploading content that is going to make you a better copywriter tomorrow. Take care, have a nice day. See you on the next video.